There was a university girl named Seilia. She was overweight and unattractive, and she suffered from constant bullying at the university. One day, Seilia was sitting under a large tree in the university garden, feeling deeply sad. She sighed heavily, trying to ignore the harsh looks and cruel words she heard every day. As she sat, she looked beside her and saw a strange fruit that had fallen from the tree she was sitting under. It looked odd but appetizing. Hesitantly, she picked it up and ate it without thinking much. Afterwards, Seilia began walking through the university halls as she always did, but this time, everyone around her stared at her with admiration. She didn't understand why. She thought the students were still whispering about her in the same old way. Suddenly, a young man named Nicola approached her and gave her a rose with a shy smile, expressing his admiration for her beauty. When she went to the university library, she noticed that many of the young men were competing to help her with her studies, but she remained puzzled, thinking this was a new form of bullying. She decided to escape from the university and return home. When she arrived at her room and stood in front of the mirror, the shock was immense. The girl she saw in the mirror was not the overweight and unattractive Seilia she knew, but a stunningly beautiful and slim girl. At that moment, Seilia understood the reason behind everyone's behavior. However, she realized that the transformation was due to the fruit she had eaten. So the next day, she returned to the tree and secretly gathered more of its fruits, eating one every day to maintain her beautiful appearance. With her newfound beauty, Seilia felt more confident. But as autumn arrived, the tree stopped producing fruits, and Seilia was gripped by fear. She was terrified of returning to her old self and facing bullying once again. So she stopped going to university, and everyone began to wonder about the absence of beautiful Seilia, while no one noticed the disappearance of the unattractive Seilia. One day, Nicola, who had loved Seilia for both her inner and outer beauty, decided to visit her at her home to check on her well-being. When he saw her, he was surprised to see the old Seilia. He thought she had stopped attending university due to the bullying, but she decided to face Nicola with the truth and told him the story of the magical fruit. Nicola, however, surprised her by saying that he had admired her not just for her outer beauty, but because he loved her kind heart and wonderful traits. With his support, Seilia began to regain her self-confidence. She decided to become beautiful in her own way, not just for Nicola but for herself. She started taking care of her health and appearance and slowly transformed into the girl she had always dreamed of being. In the end, the love between Seilia and Nicola blossomed, and they decided to get married, leaving behind all the difficult days Seilia had experienced due to bullying.